Okay, folks, this is a live stream, and I'm going to be showing a bunch of news stories. Uh, you know, I'm just going to be showing the interviews and what they say. I'm really not going to be making any kind of commentary. You understand? This is not going to be the usual type of video that I do. And that's because it has very sensitive, you know, topics here. Right now, I'm just going to real quick try to fix the TV screen a little bit, make it even. Let's see if I can do that. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Uh, that didn't help. Yeah, this is, you know what? I'm not going to mess with it. This is as good as it's going to get. Anyway, so if you remember, I did a story, I did a video of this particular incident. Hold on a second. What happened, there was four people who were stabbed, and there was six people in the house. They were saying, okay, they're saying that there's three stories to this house, okay? And you know the three, what it is, it's a code, right? So this is one floor right here, they're saying, the first floor. This is a second floor, and then this is a third floor, okay? So they're saying it has three stories. So the people who 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 were alive, there were six people. The two on the bottom floor, they survived. The two people on the top floors, two here, they both were stabbed to death. Okay, and notice, and I'm gonna tell you why this is important. This story, because I told you the address is why it's important. Um, it happened. The incident happened, I think, on 11/13, the day before King Charles's birthday. Like I said, I did a whole video on this on my main channel. So it happened on 11/13, but we didn't hear about the story. I think it really started getting traction on 11/14, which is King Charles's birthday. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because uh, the address is what's important here. Okay, it was 1122 King Street. Okay, and the cross street was Queen. So you have a king and queen reference. Okay, and you know what happened to the queen this year. And King Charles's birthday was the very next day after this incident. And the address 1122, that's JFK's death date. Okay, and of course, you know, Elvis is known as the king if you know my videos. Anyway, what's interesting about this place is the way it looks. Imagine this is like the top of somebody's head. So you have, it's like a twin faces facing away from each other, like the Janus. You know, I always tell you that Elvis and Trump are like the Janus twins because Elvis's identical twin died at birth, right? So those two, that the two houses facing away from each other, like you get it? That's another thing. But the fact that it's on King and Queen Street, and you know what's crazy? Let me show you. Here is a broader view, I guess, what they call it. So this street, this is what doesn't make any sense. If you look on Google Map, this is King Street, I think, and this is Queen Street. So how does this become this street? You know what I mean? You would think it'd be part of this street or this street, but this is King Street and this is Queen Street, and this is the address 1122 King Street. I don't know. I'm just saying, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, is there anyone who's not following me with this particular, except for the people who just got in? Did I make any sense in this video? I mean, in this part of the story? Can somebody give me some feedback? Did it make any sense? Is there anyone listening? Anybody? All right, I guess nobody's paying attention. Anyway, let's get to the next stuff. So this is a witness from the Club Q, and I did a whole story about the Club Q video too. Here's a witness. So let's just listen to them. Oh, first of all, let's look at his name. Look at his name, Joshua Thurman. It's got the man in it.
It was on the dance.
Listen.
I was on the dance floor and I heard shots. I heard 4 to 5 shots ring out. I thought it was the music. There was either the music was so loud that we couldn't hear anybody scream for help, or we just didn't hear anybody scream for help. So I thought it was the music, so I kept on enjoying myself. And then I heard another set of shots ring out, and I turned to my left and I saw the flash from the muzzle. And when I saw that, I ran to the dressing room where the drag queens change and get ready for their performances. And there was, including me, there were 2 other people in there. I made them lock the doors. We closed and locked the doors. We got down on the ground and we cut off all the lights. We heard everything. We heard a third round of shots. We heard the assailant be detained by, I assume, employees of Club Q. We heard the police come in. We heard yelling. We heard the police yelling, "Get your hands on your back." We heard everything. Shaking, crying, fearing for our lives. I'm thinking, like, at any second, this man could just bust through the door and kill us if he really wanted to. Thank God he didn't really know where he was going. The police didn't even know we were in the dressing room. One of the young ladies heard commotion with the police and her father, and she started panicking. So I crawled out of the dressing room literally on my stomach and saw the police, and they didn't even know we were in there. And once they found us, we were escorted out. When we were escorted out, bodies on the ground, blood, shattered glass, people dead. It was sad.
Here, let's see what else is on this one. Oh, I forgot to mention in that other story with the 4 people that were killed, I told you, and not this story, but the other one I did before. If I'm not mistaken, oh no, I'm not, now I can't remember now. Darn it. What was the, oh, there it is. It was in Moscow County, okay? And when they would put Moscow Police Department, MPD equals 33. M is the 13th letter, P is the 16th letter, D is the 4th letter, adds up to 33. Just to let you know.
Year.
I'm just seeing if I have anything else recorded here. Yeah, I don't care about that. Let me erase this. Let's go to the next one.
In 1953.
I've talked about that before.
Places like Club Q are supposed to be safe.
So this guy, let's listen, pay attention to who this guy is.
Discrimination. You're one of the few LGBTQ governors in the nation right now. Can you describe the impact a tragedy like this has on the community?
Well, Colorado Springs.
I don't even care what he has to say. I'm not listening to it. But his name is Jared Polis. It's got the, forget about it anyway. It's got the last 2 letters is like Elvis. but the poll is, and he's the LGBTQ governor.
Oh, juicy.
Hey, we're live.
What is this? Here he is again. Like I said, I'm going to be playing the same things over and over again.
And opened fire.
Reports of 10 people shot. Let's think this is a mass casualty.
It literally happened in the blink of an eye. Like, 1 minute I was on the dance floor, next minute I'm on the ground trying to keep two women, calm as possible, while this man literally butchers my friends.
Joshua Thurman helped others hide in a dressing room, where he called 911 over gunfire, sharing the shooter didn't stop till he was tackled.
At least 2 heroic people inside the club confronted and fought with the suspect.
Interesting that he's got the AV initials like Virginia, VA, and it's got the VA right there too, because the next one was the Virginia after this one. After this shooting came Virginia. Interesting.
Were able to stop the suspect from continuing to kill and harm others.
Police were...
And VA equals 23. Oh, look at that. 216.
guns at the scene and confirmed the gunman used a long rifle to turn the beloved club into a massive crime scene.
When you crawled out of that dressing room, Joshua, what did you see?
I saw bodies on the blood, shattered glass, broken cups, people covered up in white sheets, people trying to be resuscitated and or worked on.
Thurman says several victims were friends. By the time it was over, authorities say 5 people were dead, 25 others wounded. The gunman identified by police is Anderson Lee Aldridge, a 22-year-old.
I'll get to the name of this guy later. But that other guy's name was Thurman, the one who was speaking. And it's in El Paso, the county. El Paso. Remember I did that story a long time ago about the El Paso shooting that happened on August 3rd at a Target or something. El Paso. El passes, get it? EL means God. What is Biden saying right here? What is this one? Oh, this is that first story that I was telling you about, the 4 people that were killed in that one house in Idaho. Here's the sister.
The victim, Kaylee Gonzalez, to her boyfriend around 2:26 to 2:52 a.m. But Kaylee's sister says those calls were not out of the norm.
We do not believe she was calling him for help. We believe that she was just calling him to come over. If Kaylee was in imminent danger, her or Maddie,
What'd you say?
imminent.
You mean imminent?
Was in imminent danger, her or Maddie, they would have called 911. They would not have been calling this person.
So far, police ruling out several people seen near the victims the night they were stabbed to death, some possibly while they slept. Authorities now say they do not consider the man seen in this video from a food truck a suspect and have also ruled out a rideshare driver.
Meanwhile, police are asking for the public's help, issuing a 1 square mile dragnet, asking for any video from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. They are trying to establish how the killer made it into this house, the house. But crime here in Moscow has been...
Angels.
Here's from the Club Q. Here's some witnesses. Here's some beautiful people.
Take a listen to what they told me.
Such beauty.
We love Club Q. Everyone that works here is the best. They are so sweet, and this place is literally just full of angels, and they deserve nothing but magic and love. And last night they were met with hate, and they deserve better than that. And that's why we came out here today, even though it's dangerous and even though we live in this place that is...
I believe these two are sisters. Or brother and sister, I'm not sure.
Angels, and they deserve nothing
but they're just beautiful.
So
Look,
sweet.
I mean, they're just such beautiful people.
We love Club Q. Everyone that works here is the best. They are so sweet, and this place is literally just full of angels, and they deserve nothing but magic and love. And last night they were met with hate, and they deserve better than that. And that's why we came out here today, even though it's dangerous, and even though we live in this place that is full of violence, we can still bring love, and we can find that in each other.
Such beautiful people. Whoa! Look how beautiful this one is. Whoa.
Yeah, well, we have a legislator here in Colorado who's been spewing out things for years, and I've called her out on it, Representative Boebert in particular, and many others. And we just want them to stop. We want them to stop with...
This person looks so familiar. I mean, man, I wish I could. I mean, I can't. I got to keep my mouth shut. It looks so familiar, if you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to figure out who this person is. And why wear such outrageous glasses? I mean, your beauty just, oozes out of you. You know what I mean? I'm just surprised. Why would you wear the glasses? You just have such natural beauty.
No matter how more misinformation that doesn't already pre-exist online, no matter how safe you think a place might be, there's always going to be people that just hate that I exist for no real reason other than just personal beliefs or misinformation that they've consumed.
Whoa. 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 Look how beautiful.
We don't have violence targeted to our community.
Whoa.
Community says the attack was a hate crime, plain and simple.
We can always hope that we don't have violence targeted to our community.
Look at the person's name. Wow. All that glitters is gold.
But the sad part about it is there's a lot of humans that have a lot of hate in their heart, and they're always trying to find opportunities to harm us.
I feel like we can still even overcome this very moment, but we have to come together. I feel like we were built on unity, we were built on diversity, and we need to start living by that.
What the heck happened? What just happened? I don't understand. I don't get it. What just happened? Oh man. It messed up the place I was at. Oh, okay, I was right here.
Was just part of the music at first.
I was on the dance floor dancing when I heard 4 to 5 shots.
Joshua Thurman!
I thought it was the music, so I kept dancing. Then I heard another set of shots, and then me and a customer ran to the dressing room and got on the ground and locked the doors and called the police immediately. It was so scary. I heard shots, broken glass, bodies. It was, how? Why?
The first 9. Those are me.
Identity.
Here's another. This guy, he's a bartender at the club. Let's see what he has to say.
Bartender there says that they are the only reason that he's alive.
I saw what I believe was probably the gunman lying on the ground, getting beat up and kicked and yelled at by two very brave people who I still.
His name is Anderson.
Idea of those two people, but I hope I can find out one day because I truly believe those two people saved my life.
That's Michael Anderson. He's a bartender.
The other witness was Third Man. This one's Anderson. We'll get to the guy's name later, the suspect. Oh, here's another beautiful, beautiful. I mean, just beautiful.
Heroes. You were living in Orlando at the time of the Pulse shooting. I covered that shooting, a horrible event. I wonder, in this community, had you felt threats before? Had you felt something that made you uncomfortable, that a club like this might be a target of something like this?
Until Friday night, no. I would say no. Ever since Pulse, I would have to say that, I've always had my head on a swivel when it comes to being a producer or working in bars and clubs. I've always had my head on a swivel. So.
Why you have your head on a swivel? That don't make no sense.
I've never really noticed anything that made me feel uncomfortable. Friday night, I felt uncomfortable. We all felt like something was off. There was something very off about the vibes Friday night. And then to get that call on Saturday, it was deja vu all over again. It was like reliving the Pulse all over again.
What was off about the vibe? What did you see Friday night that concerned you?
So there was a gentleman that had walked through while I was performing, while I was hosting my show. There was a gentleman that had come through the bar, and he just had a look on his face like he did not belong there. Like,
Oh. What do they call it when profiling? So why are you profiling the person? You know what I mean? Just because he didn't look like, I don't know, I'm just saying, Aren't you against profiling?
It's just,
or make an assumption? Here's the mother of one of the victims. This victim right here.
I'd like to hear some of what she had to say.
it's just a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And I keep thinking it's a mistake. They've made a mistake, and that he's really alive. He was such a, he lit up a room. It's this old expression, but he really did. Always smiling, always happy.
Emotions under.
I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry, Mama. Mama, I'm sorry. Here's one of the victims who was shot, and he's in the hospital. Oh, let's look at his name first. Oh no, well let's listen to what he says first. Hold on.
5 people dead and at least 19 others injured. Barrett Hudson says he was shot 7 times but miraculously escaped serious injury.
I see a door kind of shut, and there's the gunman. There was a man in front of him. He put his hands up a little bit and took 2 steps back, and the dude just killed him.
Tiara Kelly says she was performing at Club Q that night.
This guy, the look on his face was full of hate. It was complete hatred. He walked by, went to the patio, and then came back through again.
The shoot.
Anyway, look, what I want you to pay attention to is what this guy says, but let's look at his name first. Hold on. What I want you to look at his name. Barrett Hudson. And by the way, HUD, HUD equals 33. But listen, what I want you to pay attention to is how many times he was shot.
I see a door kind of shut.
Let's see if, I don't know if they said it earlier.
And at least 19 others injured. Barrett Hudson says he was shot 7 times.
So he was shot 7 times. Now, later in the video, I'm going to play you something that somebody says. And this guy had a high-powered weapon, okay? So he was shot 7 times. All right, so just remember that when later I bring it up.
Home security.
So that's the guy right there. And look, so the person that they, supposedly him and his mom were living with this person right here. Can you see the name up here? It says Leslie Bowman, and it's 6/18. That's the 8/16, Elvis's death date. But anyway, it's Bowman, who's the owner of this house where the mom and this kid were staying. And that's why you have video of this Ring camera.
Security video shows him surrendering, and while no bombs were found, he was arrested on kidnapping and menacing charges. But the case was dismissed. According to local media, his mother refused to press charges, and there's no evidence his family or police tried to trigger Colorado's so-called red flag law that would have put Aldrich on law enforcement's radar and enabled them to take the firearms his mother said he had. Well, police on Saturday night say 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich opened fire with a long rifle just after entering Club Q around midnight, but he was no match for some of the patrons. According to the New York Times, Richard Fierro, a 45-year-old retired
Colorado Club, CC. Elvis is the CC rider.
He grabbed the assailant's gun.
That some students are.
Got the heads outside. Look at that. They got a beat on me.
This is the guy who they say is the shooter of that club.
Got the heads outside. Look at that. They got a beat on me. You see that right there? Heads got their rifles out. If they breach, I'm gonna blow it to holy hell. So go ahead and come on in, boys. Let's see it.
I said, Nick, what are you learning about this video and this history?
Well, so Wolf, this video was from the summer of 2021, and there is another piece of video that was captured by a doorbell
So that was when his mother supposedly called the police on him or something like that.
Police began their news.
Port.
I really don't want to get into the names, but I would recommend you look at the last 2 names of the last names of the last 2 people and think about it yourself, what you're seeing, you know. Can everybody see the last 2 names of the people? If you just their last names? wait. Let's move on. Whoa. Just shockingly beautiful.
Was on with a 911 dispatcher.
And you immediately told her there was a woman who was
Yeah,
bleeding on top of
she
you?
said, "Is anyone hit?" And I said, "There's a woman on top of me. She was on my legs, and I could hear her moaning. She saved my life, and she passed away on top of me."
Kent's fiance.
Man. So this guy is this person right here, right there. That's the same person.
At that time, drag queen Wyatt Kent was on with a 911 dispatcher.
And you immediately told her there was a woman who was
Yeah,
bleeding on top of
she
you?
said, "Is anyone hit?" And I said, "There's a woman on top of me. She was on my legs, and I could hear her moaning. She saved my life, and she passed away on top of me."
Kent's fiance, 28-year-old Daniel Aston, a bartender at the club, also killed.
I'm very angry. I'm angry because this man took my friends, took the man I saw the rest of my life with.
Tonight, authorities.
Couldn't you just say your fiance?
Find the other 4 people killed, including Raymond Green Vance and Ashley.
So here's the hero of this
The
club
combat
shooting.
wound and used one of the shooter's weapons against him, like this.
I proceeded to take his other weapon, the pistol, and then just start hitting him where I could, but the armor's in the way. And I found a crease in between his armor and his head, and I just started wailing away with his gun. And then I told the kid in front of me, kick him, keep kicking him. And I was guided. I was telling people, call 911, call 911. I got to protect my kid. I lost my kid's boyfriend. I tried to have everybody in there. I still feel bad that there's 5 people there's 5 people that didn't go home. And this guy, I told him while I was hitting him, I said, "I'm gonna kill you, man, because you tried to kill my friends." My family was in there. As soon as I got done with that guy and the cop came in, I went across the room and started first aid with my friend who was shot in the chest and the legs and the arms. And I told her, "Joanne, stay with me. Look me in the eye. Stay with me." And I moved her head so she wouldn't see her arm because he was shot. And Chip was right there. Her husband was reaching for her. So I put her hand in his hand so that they could be together. I didn't know if they were going to make it.
Put the hand of the man.
My friend who was shot in the chest and the legs and the arms. And I told her, "Joanne, stay with me. Look me in the eye. Stay with me." And I moved her head so she wouldn't see her arm because he was shot. And Chip was right there. Her husband was reaching for her. So I put her hand in his hand so that they could be together. I didn't know if they were going to make it. This whole thing was a lot. My daughter and wife should have never experienced combat.
Wait, what did you say?
This whole thing was a lot.
What's he saying, folks? I can't understand what he just said. This whole thing is a what?
This whole thing was a lot. My daughter and wife should have never experienced combat in Colorado Springs. And everybody in that building experienced combat that night, not to their own accord, but because they were forced to. I told the mayor, I'm not a hero. I'm just a guy that wanted to protect his kids and his wife. And I still didn't get to protect her boyfriend.
His name is Richard Fierro.
Here's that Brett Hudson guy.
Shoot somebody right in front of him.
He was shot 7 times.
I knew I got shot a few times. I fell down. He proceeded to shoot me. I got back up. I made it out of the back of the club. I don't know how I'm walking. All 7 bullets missed my spine, missed my liver, missed my colon. They cut me in 5 places in my chest and put cameras in and went through everything. And I got really, really lucky.
Hudson just moved.
So all 7 bullets, it hit him, but just didn't hit. It didn't hit his major organs. You know, like
All
his
7.
colon and other major organs.
Made it out of the back of the club. I don't know how I'm walking. All 7 bullets missed my spine, missed my liver, missed my colon. They cut me in 5 places in my chest and put cameras in and went through everything. And I got really, really lucky.
So remember, this guy was shot 7 times. Later in the video, I'm going to play something for you. Remember, he was shot by a high-powered weapon. Okay, and this is like 2 days. This is like 2 days after the event. Okay, so wait till you see later what I'm going to play. Anyway, his name was Hudson.
Or be killed. Overnight, the man police have called a hero speaking to reporters.
I wasn't thinking. I just ran over there, got him. I gotta kill this guy. He's gonna kill my kid. He's gonna kill my wife.
The decorated 14-year Army veteran, credited with saving dozens of lives during the nightclub massacre in Colorado Springs, now describing the moment he took the gunman down.
I grabbed him by the back of his little cheap armor thing, and I pulled him down. I grabbed the pistol from him, and I'm on top of him. I'm a big dude, man, and this guy was bigger. And I just kept wailing on him. He's trying to get his ammo, his guns.
Fierro, along with his wife...
Boy, that was interesting right there. He didn't look like...
Down. I grabbed the pistol from him.
Look at his arms.
And I'm on top of him. I'm a big dude, man, and this guy was bigger. And I just kept wailing on him. He's trying to get his ammo, his guns.
Fierro, along...
See, you get what I'm trying to show here?
And I just kept wailing on him. He's trying to get his ammo, his guns.
Fierro, along with his wife and daughter, were at the club supporting a friend. They survived, but his daughter's boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, was among the 5 killed. 19 others were wounded.
There are 5 people that I could not help, and one of which was family to me.
22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich was arrested.
So the guy's name is, if you take out his middle name, it's Anderson Aldrich. Anderson! Anyway, it's got the same initials, which I told you was a code. AA is 11, and he was 22. There's your 11/22. Remember JFK's death date, and this was recorded on 11/22. But the actual incident happened on 11/20. Anyway. Yeah, that's right. He does look like Joey. That's like a younger but Joey, yeah, even Joey, man, I can't even say it. I want to say something, but I can't. People don't know what I'm talking about. I'm reading the chat.
Diving for cover, unsure of what was happening. But for Army veteran Richard Fierro, there was no waiting or wondering. With his own family's lives at stake, he decided to take action.
I just know I got into mode, and I needed to save my family. And that family was, at that time, everybody in that room.
It was a battlefield Richard Fierro couldn't have imagined. A beloved club where he came with his wife, daughter, her boyfriend, and friends for a drag show. But when the first bullets started flying, the 15-year Army vet, who served 4 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, felt his instincts kick in.
It's the reflex. Go. Go to the fire. Stop the action. Stop the activity. Don't let no one get hurt.
Charging through the chaos, Fierro said...
You see the way he put his head forward?
Stop the action. Stop the activity.
Watch this.
Don't let no one get hurt.
Charging through the chaos, Fierro said he tackled a gunman who was wearing full body armor, knocking a rifle out of his hands, then wrestling away a handgun, using it to beat the shooter. He says he even enlisted the help of a drag performer at the club.
I told her, kick this guy, and she took her high heel and stuffed it in his face.
But Fierro wasn't able to save his daughter's 22-year-old boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, who died in the attack.
He was a good kid, man, and I loved him.
I have never encountered a person who had engaged in such heroic actions that was so humble about it.
The accused 22-year-old gunman has...
Hey, I got to stop this guy. So I ran across the room and I pulled him down. He fell to his left side, and when I put him down, his rifle was in front of him. The young man that tried to help me was in front of him with his feet towards his head. And I started yelling, hey, get his AR, and I was going for the pistol. I just started hitting him to make him stop fighting. I'm not letting him get back up. And Thomas, I told him, hey, man, kick this guy, kick this guy.
Look at that. What's this?
There, since the attack.
Head, and I just started wailing away with his gun. And then I told the kid in front of me, kick him, keep kicking him. And I was guided. I was telling people, call 911, call 911. I brought him down. I was in mode. I was doing what I do downrange. You know, I trained for this. I don't want to ever do this. I didn't even retire because I was done doing this stuff. It was too much. I told him while I was hitting him, I said, I'm gonna kill you, man, because you tried to kill my friends. My family was in there.
Such a brave man. CNN's Rosa Flores is in.
Yes, I totally agree with you. He was a brave man. Brave. So brave.
Field Artillery Officer Richard Fierro detailing the drama today on Fox when he went from partying on the dance floor with his family into full combat mode after a gunman burst into Club Q and opened fire, tackling him to the ground from behind and pistol whipping the shooter with his own gun while a drag queen stomped on his face and other patrons pinned him down until police arrived.
And we just started hitting the guy, man. I mean, that's all you can do. You got to protect everybody around you. At that point, everybody in that room was family to me.
Amid the chaos, arriving officers detained Fierro, who was covered in blood, but soon realized he almost certainly saved lives by subduing the assailant, identified as 22-year-old
He's heartbroken.
He was very kind, and I used to call him my gentle giant.
Is it settled in?
No, I still, I still think he's gonna walk in through the door.
Why did that bullet went to him? That's one of the biggest questions.
Raymond's family describing the 22-year-old as the life of every room he walked into and the pain of reckoning with his death.
I work in a restaurant, and one of the hostess came and he says, your husband called, and he said, it's an emergency. I said, oh my God, what happened? So I called him, and he told me that Raymond was dead.
Tonight, immense grief and heartbreak that will last a lifetime.
Walking past other bodies that were laying there, those are things you won't be able to unsee. There's smells you won't be able to unsmell. And it was just horrifying.
Steve joins us now from Colorado Springs. Heartbreaking recollections of that day, Steve. Have investigators shared any more about the suspect tonight?
Aldrich is scheduled to appear in court today.
There's the suspect.
First-degree murder and hate crime charges.
By prosecuting this as a hate crime, we are honoring victims.
This guy's name, look at his name, Phil Weiser. Phil Weiser. I wonder what nationality he is.
Because of who they are. And that's something that Colorado is committed to protecting, everyone's right to live as their best authentic self. So even if there's not an additional sentence consequence, we believe from a message and from honoring the victims, it's important to go forward with hate crimes as well.
So that's the Colorado Attorney General. The 22-year-old suspect was booked into the El Paso County Jail.
So the suspect identifies as a non-binary. Whoa, you see that? Look at this. Look at that.
Their mom to COVID. Now, they were both shot. James Law says that one of the bones in his arm is shattered.
So my arm becomes completely useless and I fall behind the wall. We hear a couple of more pops go off because we don't see where the guy is. We're hiding behind his wall. See a couple more pops go off, and then it's just silence. And that silence was the scariest part because we weren't sure if he was reloading.
Law says that he started to cry when a stranger came to his aid, kissed his forehead, and told him everything's going to be okay. His partner was shot in the leg, and his sister was shot in the stomach. All three survived and are in stable condition at last check. When asked if he'll ever go back to Club Q, Law said he won't let hatred stop him from being who he is. 5 people died in Saturday night's attack. At least 19 people.
I'm not listening to this guy again.
Says it's
What is this?
Four zero two 1521 Sam.
Look at the address. 1521. Yeah, you're not gonna. Well, let me see if I have it. Where did I put it? I thought I had it here. What did I do with it? I wanted to show you something. Now I can't find it. That's weird. I had a piece of I wrote something on a piece of paper, but I can't find it now. Well, I guess I'm not going to show it. Anyway, SAM equals 33, SAM. And look, it's 402, whatever that means. That's not the address. That's something else. I think it's District 402, it's called. 42 is connected to the Elvis puzzle I was talking about. Chesapeake, by the way, Chesapeake, it equals something very important in gematria, but I can't say what it is because I don't want to mix it up with this video, but it's man, I wish I could say the word. I can't say the word. Oh, hold on. Let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, here's a police officer. I haven't seen much of them talking.
Rescue and recovery mission began.
And we did basically like a tactical entrance and movement in the building. And we located multiple...
Leo Kosinski. Whoa. Leo is the ELO. August.
multiple injured persons.
Officials saying because the store is so large, many people may have been hiding, prompting fear that victims may not have been immediately located.
It's sad, we're a couple days before the Thanksgiving holiday. I mean, anytime it's a sad, it's just a bad time all around, it's just for everybody involved, especially the victims. Like, this is horrible.
Witness Terry Brown telling our affiliate WVEC what she felt in that store.
There are no words. There are just no words. To see this unfold, to be a part of it, and to know that this crime occurred so close to me, and I was literally in that store, is terrifying.
Walmart releasing a statement saying, "We are shocked at this."
No, that's the weird thing. Or whether they were trying to duck for cover or they were hit, he just opened fire.
I'll get to that person in a minute. Hold on.
This is tell CNN this.
Going, so there's no clear motive at this time.
I'm just trying to find, because like I said, I taped a lot of stuff, so I don't know what's what here. Oh, so remember earlier I was telling you about they were shot by high-powered weapons, okay? So imagine the damage that it does. I just can't imagine somebody getting up after 1 day, 2 days. It takes weeks, probably months to rehabilitate from something like that. Look, listen to what she says here.
And I will tell you personally, as a survivor of a mass shooting, as a mother who's gone into these rooms with lawmakers and seen
First of all, the person's name is Lieberman. You know who this person is. But anyway, but listen to what she says.
Incredible parents from Uvalde who've lost their children, or 10-year-old advocates where half of their class was brutally massacred in front of her. After hearing these stories, and as a human being not being able to stop crying myself, it was striking to me to see that many lawmakers are not impacted in the way I would expect as a human by these stories.
Just keep listening.
But instead, they do show interest in data, and physicians bring an analytical perspective to this and our expertise. We have data that science and science-driven backgrounds that show us all of the problems with gun violence in our country. And we can come to these meetings and say, look at this from our perspective. Look at the data. Look at the grotesque images, the differences between a regular gun that penetrates a human body versus how an assault weapon penetrates a human body. With a regular gun, we have a clean entry and exit wound. With an assault weapon, you've blown up most of the person. The organs become liquefied. It's absolutely grotesque. These children.
So, they said this is physicians, doctors, or whatever, experts, they said. Did you hear what she said? So if those people were shot by assault weapons, you would think that they would have, wounds like what she described, right?
With an assault weapon, you've blown up most of the person. The organs become liquefied. It's absolutely grotesque. These children that have been killed by assault weapons and mass shootings are most often identified by DNA, not because you can identify any other part of their body. And we show them these images, and it's hard for them not to recognize our absolute expert opinion on public health.
Absolute. There it is, right there. Absolute expert. We believe you. We believe you. Lieberman, we believe you.
As you can see, Anderson Aldrich is there in that lower window. They, I should say, is behind some attorneys.
I remember in legal documents filed last night, their attorneys said that the suspect identifies as non-binary. They are slumped over, wearing an orange jumpsuit and restraints. They were held without bail. Prosecutors are going to file charges in the coming days, and the next court date in the case was set for early next month.
See the suspect appearing by video link. The thing lasted for maybe all of a few minutes or so. The purpose was really just to make sure the suspect understood the charges, understood the rights. I will say, it's very hard to see some detail on the face of the suspect, but it appeared to be, that the suspect was in pretty rough shape. As we all know, that suspect
Canada.
Oh, there was a twin blasts in Jerusalem the other day. Twin. And look at that, 18. Elvis, 1-8. Twin on 1-8, get it? Jerusalem. Twin bombings. And a bus. Did it involve a bus? Because a bus is, bus equals 42. Look at that. This guy caught a goldfish, gave it back. 67 pounds. 67. Elvis equals 67. Fisherman. And Elvis is he's the beast out of the sea, Elvis. Oh, there's the suspect with his, facial things. But can I tell you something? There's no swelling anywhere. It's just, it looks just like marks, I'm not sure, what the heck is going on here. And remember, it's non-binary. And by the way, the news is saying that it just made up that he's, as a defense, that he's non-binary, which makes no sense. I'm saying the news should not be saying that. I'll tell you why. Because they're going back into his past and saying, they're asking his friends, did he ever say he was non-binary or anything like that? Everyone's saying no, they're saying, right? But here's the thing, this is, I'm quoting these people who on the news every day. They say, well, they should be saying that he was scared before, to come out. so that's why he never told any of his friends. So, he finally had the courage to come out. You know what I'm saying? So they should be lauding him, not, you know what I'm saying?
Was seated, slumped, slurring, bruising around the forehead from where that young naval officer and that trans woman kicking the suspect in the head to thwart that attack. Now, the defendant's lawyers say that the suspect now identifies as non-binary. The DA was asked if that would have any impact on the investigation or the prosecution. His answer, no. Formal charges expected December 6th. We also spoke to a neighbor and a friend this morning who said that this suspect had not once mentioned being non-binary. Brianna?
So there's the shooter of the Walmart shooting. The other one was for the club shooting. This is for the Walmart. So they're saying that this guy was a manager. Okay? Now, supposedly he was working at Walmart for 10 years. And they were saying that he's always angry and mean. I mean, I'm just saying, how did he get to be a manager if he's got a look, if he's got this mean scowl on his face, Give me my promotion. Give it to me. I deserve a promotion.
31-year-old Andre Bing fired into a break room during a staff meeting at the start of the overnight shift.
Did he say anything?
No, he said nothing at all.
Just started shooting.
He just started shooting. He did not say a word. He didn't look at anyone specific. He didn't point. He literally just picked the gun up and just started shooting aimlessly at anything and everything that was moving in the room.
A bullet whizzing by her.
It just missed you.
Yeah, it had just missed me. Yes, it did.
Couple inches in the other direction.
Yeah, couple of inches.
Brianna, only on the job at Walmart 2 months, thought it all might be a drill.
I froze. I just stood there, not realizing what was going on. I'm looking at everybody drop down on the floor.
But then she realized what was happening.
The moment I looked over at my friend, and she was slumped over, her eyes were closed, and there was blood just gushing out of her neck. That's when it kicked in for me, and I was like, oh, this is real. I was like, I have to run, and that's literally all I thought of. And he went in one direction, and I just went in the other, and I was just praying the entire time I was running was, I hope he's not behind.
So you really think the manager is going to come in as a joke with a gun? Really? This is something that people would do in real life? They would joke?
Bullet whizzing by her.
It just missed you.
Yeah, it had just missed me. Yes, it did.
Couple inches in the other direction.
Yeah, couple of inches.
Yep. And you know, how this person, you know how it identifies, you know what I'm saying? It's so obvious. You could see it.
I looked up and my manager turned around and he just opened fire on everybody in the break room. And it is by the grace of God that a bullet missed me. Not gonna lie, I literally looked at him. I saw the smoke leaving the gun, and I literally watched bodies drop.
And you still thought maybe it might not have been real, you said.
It's of God that a bullet missed me. Not gonna lie, I literally looked at.
You're not gonna lie, I hope not.
It's of God that a bullet missed me. Not gonna lie.
Anyway, the person's name was Andre. This dude, Andre equals 42. By the way. Anyway. Oh, here's a really, this person's name is Jesse, by the way, and Elvis's identical twin was Jesse. And it's,
Good Chihuahua.
Listen to this.
Working at this Walmart. Take a listen.
I slid out under the out underneath of the table, and I'm shaking, and I probably looked like a Chihuahua at that point, and he just had the gun up to my forehead, and it's just really hard. He told me to go home. And he took the gun away from my forehead, and he was aiming it at the ceiling, and he said, Jesse, go home.
Jesse, go home. Whoa. We're going to listen to her like a bunch of times because I have it a bunch of times recorded.
Shooting.
The only thing that made it real.
Wait, again? Just like that other girl. She was saying she didn't think it was real. And the only thing that made it real.
The only thing that made it real was the vibrations hitting your chest and the ringing from the gun going off. And it just kept going and going.
Jesse Wilczewski, a new employee at the Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart, hid under a table until she came face to face with the shooter.
And he just had the gun up to my forehead, and And this is really hard. He told me to go home.
The city of Chesapeake identifying the shooter as 31-year-old Andre Bing. Walmart confirms he was an overnight team lead. According to employees, Bing entered the break room just as employees were clocking in to start their shifts.
Just left out the break room, to come in there, started capping people up in there, started shooting.
Investigators were seen searching the alleged shooter's home, and police say the gunman was armed with several magazines and a pistol. Breonna Tyler witnessed the shooting and says there were around 15 to 20 people in the break room when the shooter entered.
He didn't say a word. He didn't point at anyone. He didn't look at anyone specific. He just had a blank stare.
So this person's name is Breonna Taylor. Remember that story about Breonna Taylor, who was killed by police? Look, this person's name is Breonna Tyler, not Taylor. It's close.
And he just literally just looked around the room and just shot. And there were people just dropping to the floor.
6 employees were shot and killed, including a 16-year-old. Police believe the gunman died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
That is a body of a person they just brought out in a shopping cart.
According to...
Did you hear what he just said? They brought a body out in a shopping cart.
Wound.
That is a body of a person they just brought out in a shopping cart.
According to police, 2 employees were found dead in the break room. Another victim was found in the front of the store, and 3 victims.
He didn't say a word. He didn't point at anyone. He didn't look at anyone specific. He just had a blank stare on his face, and he just literally just looked around the room and just shot. And there were people just dropping to the floor. Everybody was screaming, gasping. Yeah, he looked at me and he shot near my head, and it was about inches away. I'm not gonna lie. It was just. It was...
You're not gonna lie. I said I hope not. Stop saying that.
Near my head, and it was about inches away. I'm not gonna lie. It was about an inch or 2 away from my face, and I was like, but in that moment, it still hadn't really kicked in that it was real. But I work with you, so it's like you're not doing anything to harm us. Why are you shooting? I didn't think it was real. I genuinely didn't think it was real.
Just left out the break room, to come in there, started capping people up in there.
Well, that's a nice beard you got, dude. Did you just grow it overnight? Kind of looks a little different than your mustache, if you know what I'm saying there.
The only thing that made it real was the vibrations hitting your chest and the ringing from the gun going off. And it just kept going and going.
Jesse Wilczewski, a new employee at the Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart, hid under a table until she came face to face with the shooter.
And he just had the gun up to my forehead and this is really hard. He told me to go home.
The city of Chesapeake.
He knew when to come in. He knew that we had that meeting at 10 every night. He went left. And he had both, he was ready to go. He could have gone right. There's a lot more people over here. He just go left. And I will never forget that.
Wow, that was interesting hand movements there. Let's see that again.
Left. And he had both, he was ready to go. He could have gone right. There's a lot more people over here. He just go left. And I will never forget that.
She said it will never be the same. You can imagine the survivors of this shooting, including the 50 or some odd people who were shopping in the store for last-minute Thanksgiving items. Today, though, police, after investigating yesterday with the FBI, poring over what they called a vehicle of interest in this parking lot as well, still searching for a motive, why the killer did what he did and took the lives of 6 innocent people. And I should also note
Anderson Lee.
Look at the headline. It says suspect said they. You see, it says they. They're describing him when they're saying they, because he's saying he's non-binary. So when he's saying, they're saying the suspect said. So he's a they. Man. He's a they. Can you believe this?
Randall Black.
All right, folks, I think we're coming to the end of the...
No, inches away, I'm not going to lie.
The only thing that made it real was the vibrations hitting your chest and the ringing from the gun going off. And it just kept going.
Hold on. Somebody's in the chat. I got to get rid of this person. I don't know who this person is. I have no idea what's going on here. All right, you're gone. I don't even know who this person is, but you're saying bad things about people. You're gone. Was that person trolling? Can somebody tell me? Was I wrong about that person that I just removed? Or did I act? Or should I give him another chance? Yeah. I don't know. I just saw a bunch of stuff he was putting.
Had the gun up to my forehead and it's just really hard.
All right, I'll give him another chance. Hey, to the person, I'll give him another chance. If I see you put any more negative comments, you're out of here. All right, that's your last warning. All right, you can comment again. No more. I better not see you comment again. Yeah. And you're saying that you had him blocked already. Yeah, he was saying bad things about you, and that's why I couldn't understand what's he talking about. Who is this person? Anyway, I put him back on, but if he says one more bad thing, he's gone.
He told me to go home. And he took the gun away from my forehead.
It's the trauma of those survivors and everything they're having to process right now. Of course, Jim.
Yeah, he was saying something bad about you. Yeah, I didn't understand it.
At the Walmart store.
He's got the gun pointed at me, and he looks at me, and he puts the gun up in the air, and all he says is, "Jesse, go home." I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't want to look back.
Do you know why he let you go, Jesse? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't.
Many now left grieving this holiday week.
I'm so sorry to all families that right now are missing their loved ones before Thanksgiving.
President Biden says that he and the First Lady are grieving for the...
All of your news conferences.
All right, we're coming to the end here, folks.
For every shift, we have a meeting in the break room right at 10 o'clock. And mostly everybody was in there, and the meeting had just started. And all of a sudden, I looked straight instead of looking off where the other guy was talking, and the other team lead is in the doorway, and he's got his hands like that, And at first it didn't even look real. It didn't register as real. The only thing that made it real was the vibrations hitting your chest.
Hold on. Somebody's saying they're going to get rid of my channel. Let me tell you something. You can get rid of all the channels you want. I have 100 more channels ready to go. So I've already lost 40 something, so don't worry about it. You can do whatever you want.
And the ringing from the gun going off. And it just kept going and going, going. And I got under the table. And he left the room and went left down the hallway. And I was looking at my other coworkers around me on the floor and leaned over in the chair. And I didn't want to be loud. I didn't want him to hear me and make him mad, to make him come back, because I don't even know where he went. And I didn't leave. I stayed. I wouldn't want to be left alone, even if they weren't there, or if they were there, I don't even know. I tried really hard not to look. And the sound of the droplets, it replays and replays and replays and replays and replays of how much blood was coming off the different chairs. It was making a rhythm, and it was one of the most disturbing things. I think we'll never let go of that.
I mean, it's understandable. It's so you're under the table then for safety. You talk about feeling the bullets as the shots rang out, feeling that in your chest, hearing the blood from your coworkers, watching them in those moments. As I understand it, the shooter did look at you at one point and basically let you go.
Very end, I was hiding underneath the table, and he told me to come out, and I had my bag, and I put my bag out first as like a, please, I don't have anything, you see my hands type thing. And I slid out under the underneath of the table, and I'm shaking, and I probably looked like a chihuahua at that point, and he just had the gun up to my forehead, and it's just really hard.
Did he say anything to you in that moment, Jesse?
He told me to go home. And he took the gun away from my forehead, and he was aiming it at the ceiling, and he said, Jesse, go home. And I got up real slow, and I tried not to look at everybody on the ground or even look. And I had to touch the door, which was covered. And I walked out the double doors to where you can see the aisles of Walmart. And I made it right to where the egg aisle starts. And I just remember gripping my bag and thinking, if he's shoot me in the back, well, he's gonna have to try really hard, because I'm running. And I booked it, and I didn't stop until I got to my car. And then I had a meltdown in my car.
Jesse, just one of so many who will be.
The most interesting part was when she said something about the droplets.
The only thing that made it real was the vibrations hitting your chest and the ringing from the gun going off. And it just kept going and going, going. And I got under the table, and he left the room and went left down the hallway. And I was looking at my other coworkers around me on the floor and leaned over in the chair, and I didn't want to be loud. I didn't want him to hear me and make him mad, to make him come back, because I don't even know where he went. And I didn't leave. I stayed. Just I wouldn't want to be left alone, even if they weren't there, or if they were there, I don't even know. I tried really hard not to look. And the sound of the droplets, it replays and replays and replays and replays and replays of how much blood was coming off the different chairs. It was making a rhythm, and it was one of the most disturbing things. I think I never let go of that.
I mean, it's understandable. It's so you're under the table then for safety. You talk about feeling the bullets as the shots rang out, feeling that in your chest, hearing the blood from your coworkers, watching them in those moments. As I understand it, the shooter did look at you at one point and basically
at the
let you
very
go.
end. The very end, I was hiding underneath the table, and he told me to come out, and I had my bag, and I put my bag out first as like a, please, I don't have anything, you see my hands type thing. And I slid out out underneath of the table, and I'm shaking, and I probably looked like a chihuahua at that point, and he just had the gun up to my forehead, and it's just really hard.
Did he say anything to you in that moment, Jesse?
He told me to go home. And he took the gun away from my forehead, and he was aiming it at the ceiling, and he said, Jesse, go home.
You know, the two letters that you see, I don't know if you guys can see, but the main two letters all the time that you see on her jacket, I think it's the R and the O, is RO equals 33. And it's always right there. So I don't know. I mean, that could be just a coincidence. And it just, her initials, JW equals 33 also.
I tried not to look at everybody on the ground or even look, and I had to touch the door, which was covered. And I walked out the double doors to where you can see the aisles of Walmart, and I made it right to where the egg aisle starts. And I just remember gripping my bag and thinking, if he's gonna shoot me in the back, well, he's gonna have to try really hard, because I'm running. And I booked it, and I didn't stop until I got to my car. And then I had a meltdown in my car.
Jesse, just one of so many who will be dealing with that aftermath and that trauma. And of course, just a few days before that shooting at the Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia, a mass shooting in Colorado.
All right, folks, I think that's it. There's no more to say. It's just the same thing over and over again. I don't want to play the same thing every time. All right, that's it. Anyway, folks, like I said, if you don't, I probably delete this video, but even if I don't, it doesn't matter. It might get a strike anyway. I don't care. just know that if you don't see a video on this channel, it's because it was I got a suspension. But whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I'll see you guys in hopefully on my main channel in a maybe tonight or later today, I don't know, because I'm going to be doing a video about the number 42. I have to put that video out first, so make sure you subscribe to my main channel, because that's where I'm going to be doing my video. I mean, my most of my videos are over there, you know, especially the live streams that are important. So make sure you subscribe to my main channel. And also, like I said, the next video I do over there, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be laying the foundation for the video that's going to come after that. So that's why I'm going to do the 42 video first, to lay the foundation for what's coming after that. Anyway. All right, folks. Take care, and God bless everyone. And to the trolls, right now you're ready for hell. You're gonna burn in hell. So you better get right and repent, you dum-dums. Anyway, I'll see you guys over there on my main channel. So make sure you subscribe to the main channel. Yeah, take care. And for the people in America, have a happy Thanksgiving. Because here in America, it's Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. All right. So one more minute, I'm going to end the video. I'm just waiting for people to catch up. Some people are like a minute behind, so I just want to make sure they know that the video's ending. Yep, 30 more seconds. End of video. End of video.